Hey, what are you doing down there under the hedge? Get out from under the hedge. I mean, over the hedge over there. Don't make me come down there. I'm hopping down. I'm coming over the hedge. Here I come. Over the Hedge is a 2006 American animated heist comedy film produced by the DreamWorks Animation SKG. It is based on this comic strip by the same name, which I actually looked up this comic strip, and there's a lot of different versions of it. It's actually quite enjoyable. The film received generally positive reviews. It was a success. 330 million on an 80 million budget. It actually started production in 20th Century Fox. The Fox animation studio shut down in 2000 following this disappointment performance of its second and final film. It's called Titan AE. So Over the Hedge was picked up 1 year later under DreamWorks by Jeffrey Katzenberg, and this is also the first DreamWorks movie to not be released on VHS. So moment of silence for that. So welcome y'all again to the premiere, I guess, of my critical review films. I previously did all the Disney direct-to-sequel films, and I decided to shift over to try out some DreamWorks ones, just because they're kind of so closely related, and boy, are some of these films just funny. So I won't be doing all of the DreamWorks films in order, except for their franchise films. Whenever I get to a franchise film, I'll tackle those all in order. For example, like a Shrek or a Madagascar, if we start on those movies, we're doing the whole thing. And occasionally in between those, I will do just the one-off films, kind of like this one. Now, we're not starting with ants today. No ants. I'm starting at this one specifically because I've been thinking about this film for like the past year. I don't know what it is, and this is my only excuse to watch it again. So I think we've covered all the basics. I'll explain much more at the end. So fuck it, let us begin. All right, open shot, the DreamWorks Moon balloons. I missed this intro. The modern one sucks. So we get this vending machine as our open shot, which I don't know. I think this is probably the most iconic shot in the entire film. It's more iconic than the actual Hedge. I think it's because it's the shot I see the most in promotions. It's also the DVD menu screen. And 75-cent Dorito cheese nachos. Not bad for 2006. Whoever's on this machine, it gets stuck, which happens to me more than usual. And we get introduced to our main guy here, RJ. Voiced by Mr. Bruce Willis himself. I don't know, this doesn't really sound like him if you ask me. This might have been his first animation role. I don't know, maybe I guess he just has a lot of voice ranges.
RJ the Raccoon, voiced by Bruce Willis. We call him our raconteur raccoon.
I play a raccoon. It's kind of a devil-may-care. He's the Cary Grant of the animal kingdom.
When I was a child, I loved RJ, not because he has the same initials as my name, but also, yes, he uses one of those little dino grabbers to reach in the top and get one of the Dorito bag. I guess it's the only bag left. Shit, would you look at that? I got this, I think, like a year or so after the movie came out. I've had it ever since. I found it under my bed. It was just sitting there. It was very dusty. I love the way it breaks, too. So he sees a cliff in the distance, decides to, I guess, sleep there for the night. But of course, he sees the bear sign. Where did did the bear put up the sign himself? He goes in anyway. Which, by the way, bro is stacked. He decides, you know what? This is my food. He's just gonna steal it all. He has more than enough, but he sees the Pringles. He really needs the Pringles. The Pringles low-key are kind of like their main plot device in this film. On his way out, he wakes up. Apparently they know each other. Bear's name is Vincent. I love that name.
Dumb enough to actually try and steal my stuff. RJ, I'm gonna have to kill you. Please. See you in the morning.
As they're bickering, the food falls, gets hit by a car. Before he gets eaten by Vincent, he's like, you know what? I got you. I'll get it all back for you.
Vincent, wait! I can get it all back! My red wagon? Redder! The blue cooler.
Blue cooler? On my list! I'm gonna get you the giant picnic pack, family fun size.
They have that?
I'm pretty sure.
So thus, the plot has begun. You got 1 week. So we get our first song in the movie here. It's called Family Still? I think it's called Family Still. It's sung by this guy named Ben Folds, which we'll get to him at the end of the movie. He contributed, I think, 3 original songs, this being one. And as a child, I love this song. And this still holds true like fucking 19 years later.
Gotta tell myself, yeah, I'm the man. Looks grim right now.
Eventually, our boy RJ, runs into the suburbs where I guess he's just gonna luck out there. A little forward here, we finally get introduced to our some more new characters here. Vern the Turt.
I just made up a voice that was basically what I sound like when I am doing voiceover work.
And Steve Carell is Hammy, the squirrel. Doesn't make sense for a squirrel name if you ask me.
Hammy is an idiot savant without the savant.
So we get basically just introduced to the rest of the cast here of the animals. We have a family of porcupine.
I portray Lou the porcupine, and my wife Penny.
Thank you.
Is my wife Penny, I guess.
It's played by me.
Stella the skunk, which is just Wanda Sykes. Just Wanda Sykes playing herself.
What do you think of when you think of a skunk?
Stella's great. I'm a skunk.
There's also like this family, I think it's possums. I think it's possums. Avril Lavigne's the daughter or some shit like that.
I don't know why they chose me.
I'm dying. I'm dying.
I play the role of Heather, who is a possum.
Regardless, there's our cast. Steve Carell, he goes out looking for food, and I guess he just stumbles across the hedge and points to it.
That weird thing.
They call it the big bush to start out. Steve Carell wants to name the hedge Steve.
I'd be a lot less afraid of it if I just knew what it was called. Let's call it Steve. Steve sounds nice.
Fun fact, I read that was also taken from the comic. I'll try to find the comic strip that's from.
You know what? Actually, it's a good question. Who is Steve?
Vern the turtle gets eaten by the bush.
You brought this on yourself.
Stella, don't. I'm not eating.
I'm a skunk.
So he crosses over to the other side. I found this next scene a little amusing.
Stella?
Also, this film starts off just a little bit slow. We're like 15 minutes in so far. He goes for a little joyride around the hood. He almost dies like 3 times, probably the most excitement he's seen in his life. Eventually, he does end up getting tossed back into the gang. Bruce Willis eventually runs into them. Who was watching this whole time? Just by the way, in the tree, watching this poor turtle get destroyed. So basically, all the animals are just confused because they're like, where'd this hedge come from? So our boy RJ decides to come on down, explain the whole situation they're in right now, shows them a map. Tells them they're this little speck in this developing community around us, which is a very good analogy. I'm liking the theme so far. Should they build all of this during winter? Because if so, why can't we build that fast nowadays? So he tries to convince the gang that they can fill their log in a week instead of a year, which I think is very reasonable.
Loads of food. Heaps of food. Food out the wazoo.
I really don't know what a wazoo is, but whatever food comes out of it, we're not interested in eating. Thank you.
So it makes a lot of sense to them. Vern shakes his tail. No, you're full of shit, RJ. And then Bruce Willis hits him with a...
This is something that you're just not open to.
That, my friend, is a magical combination. Corn flour, dehydrated cheese solid, BHA, BHT, and good old MSG.
The chip.
That convinced them. 10 seconds later, they're already over the cliff. Look at Suburbia. He gives them the tour, explains what a human is.
The human does happen to see you. Just lay down, roll over, and give your privates a good licking.
There's this next part where RJ is just kind of explaining how humans revolve around food, how we eat it, wear it, drive it, which is, again, a very nice reflection of society today, and how everything just kind of ends up in these shiny silver cans. What happened to these cans? They're so much cooler than these like modern trash cans we have now in Suburbia. What happened to society? A cat sees them.
Intruders! Intruders!
Intruders! Intruders! Get out, all of you! Tiger the Persian cat is a domesticated animal.
Plan is off. A human bad. RJ wants to help them still, so he explains this weed hacker incident.
The weed hacker, Vern. The weed hacker.
He can stay. Want to help find my nuts. So instead he wants to steal from the Girl Scouts. Turns him into a rabid squirrel.
Shoo! Shoo!
I'm a crazy rabbit squirrel.
They kick his ass. Vern just shows up, shows some ass, scares him away. He's the real hero. So back at the camp, everyone's on a sugar rush, except Hammy. He doesn't need that.
Where's the food? Is there any food left? I'm really hungry. Is there food left in there, huh?
I like food.
Then we get this, of course, montage music time. It's another original by Ben Folds. I think this one is just called Heist, which is a very good song. This guy's 2 for 2 so far. So yeah, this is just a quick montage of them crossing the hedge, stealing some food. There's this side character plot I haven't really mentioned yet. I'm assuming this is a real estate agent lady. She knows there's like a critter problem going on in the suburbs, and she's worried about, I guess, losing value property. So, of course, during this montage, she ends up calling an exterminator. So I guess that's pretty major in the plot, right?
Hi, this is Gladys Sharp, your president of the Homeowners Association.
Near the end of the montage, there's this quick playing dead scene with the possum.
I'm dying. I'm dying.
RJ almost has everything that he needs from the list, but uh-oh, look who shows up. And
His car has killed more animals than you have.
Stand down, sister.
this guy means business. The exterminator, he goes by the Verminator, that's what we'll call him by. I forgot the name of his voice actor, but it's the guy who played Sandman in Spider-Man 3. It's all I needed to hear. The best character in this film.
Solution is standing before you. Dwayne LaFontaine is here. Possum, porcupine, skunk, squirrel.
This is like the DreamWorks touch, you know what I'm saying? Eventually they all get away. So it's getting serious. So back over the hedge, they all make RJ a like room with a TV, and now he's like kind of slowly realizing that he's a dick now because like now they like him. But he's got to take the food to the bear. So after some quick hyperventilating later, he sees that the food is missing. He catches old Vernie, taking it back to the humans because I guess they've angered the humans. I don't know. I feel like with this part, it could have easily been put in RJ's favor because Vern says that he's taking it back and he's like, how about I just leave? Which is kind of implying that he'll take the food and go, which then problem would have been solved, right? But no, they decide to fight.
Right?
Huh?
At least it's a happy dog. So he's tossed for a bit before chasing Bruce Willis all through the backyards, eventually catching some propane on the way to ultimately launch into the air. And I gotta say, whoever tied up this food pile needs to be the new leader of the group because goddamn, look at that handiwork. Nothing fell off.
Hold my laughter in.
So after Armageddon, their parachute gets burned and everything is ruined. And who's to blame?
How's it going?
Ask him.
Vern?
Holy plot twist. He slips up and he calls them stupid.
I'm not stupid.
Banished. It's all ogre. After a montage full of guilt and RJ's imminent death in the morning, he realizes what he's done. He takes a peek over the hedge and he sees that there are traps being set up, and it hit me at this part of the movie that the writing here was excellently done, and the analogy of how humans react to wild animals and how they make you think that all the critters are gonna die, even the children, with the sad music over it. And then Vern, I guess, finds RJ and he comes over to apologize. And he's like, hey, how about you be the leader? And right as RJ's about to confess about what he has done, he sees over the hedge that the real estate lady is, I guess, throwing a party or something. And he's like, maybe we can do one final heist before the morning to get all this food back. And just the way they're talking to each other, you can see the guilt just being built up even more.
What is this? What? Oh, that. Mm-hmm.
Just wow, it's gonna come crashing down for the boy soon. So after some apologizing later, they make a plan with the gang. It's a very complicated plan. I'm gonna just kind of glaze over this setup because I think it's just kind of filler. They do turn the skunk into a cat though.
Meow.
I'm a skunk.
So RJ uses a laser pointer to get Steve Carell Squirrel through the lasers and to, I guess, eventually turn him off. Wanda Sykes skunk goes into, I don't know, charm the cat. The Persian cat, but it doesn't work out. She ends up getting insulted over her filth.
I got makeup on my butt, dude.
He ends up falling in love with her demeanor. So I guess on with the plan. So she gets the collar from the Persian cat and then they go in. I also really like this part of them opening the fridge. There's also this bit where one of the kids sits on the remote and the THX sound starts playing, and I got a chuckle out of that.
Uh-oh.
What was that?
Who else misses that, you know? That old-timey time. Dolby could never. Also, this is notably, I think, the first time that a THX has been seen in a film. I can't think of anything else where you've seen it. Surprisingly, no one was disturbed by the THX. No one woke up. So they basically just fill that wagon up all night long while the Persian cat was talking to Wanda just, I guess, for hours on end. And oh no, they take a peek. Real estate lady has woken up and is, I guess, wandering the house. It's time to leave, guys. But no, dumbass RJ, he sees that can of Pringles. Remember the Pringles? He sees that can of Pringles that's left. He just needs it. The possum gets punted. She calls for the Verminator. I don't really know what happens here, but RJ breaks. He just crashes out, and he just tells everybody what his true intentions were this whole time, and they fall down, and then we get a Stella. And then a skunk bomb. RJ runs away with the food, leaving everybody behind with the Verminator. It's all ogre. So eventually he runs into Vincent the bear. Good old Vincent, who was watching, I guess, the whole time of their endeavors through his binoculars. He even calls RJ out just for his self-serving act, his viciousness.
Is a thing of beauty. That is the most vicious, deceitful thing I've ever seen. You know, as I got older and my voice got more husky like this, I was waiting for a bear role to come around.
The bear talks about how he's bound to just be like him in the future. And then RJ's like, actually, no, I don't want to be like you. I want to be with this family down there and they need me. So he's like, he pushes the food off the cliff to stop the Verminator car for family. He gets yelled at by the skunk.
I'm a skunk.
And then he gets attacked by the bear right after. The struggle never ends. They knocked out the Verminator while they're driving this car, right? And they're just they're just flying down the streets. The kids are driving. It's a good way for them to learn.
No fighting while we're driving. We will turn this van around, mister.
They eventually knock Vincent off, I guess flying off, but they're still mad at RJ. So like every time he gets back in the car, they just kind of toss him out. And that's just comedy right there. Also, I just wanted to play this clip next. The tail rub on the nose is what got the exterminator to wake up, nothing else. They run back through the hedge and oop. It's time to whip out the sugar. So he basically turns into Quicksilver here. Everything's slow motion. He does what needs to be done. RJ had the turtle shell on. The lasers are tripped.
Prepare for a lot of stinging.
So it's looking like a happy ending. The aftermath of this is they get arrested. Apparently that laser system that was placed is illegal in their state. So bye Nancy. The Persian cat decides to move in with the squad. It's time for RJ to say goodbye. It really is a happy ending.
Come here. Come here. I promise I will.
I'll let Steve Carell close us out here.
Yes. Hammy.
I filled the log. Look!
Found my nuts. Roll credits, and fun fact, during the credits, you can see some of the comic strip that was used, or I guess referenced. After this rewatch, I just realized this movie only takes place in like 3 settings. But you know, as simple as the storyline is some good themes here. This is definitely a hidden gem by DreamWorks. Also, there's this little post-credit scene here where it's RJ's kind of teaching the squad how like the vending machine tricks you can do. So that's cute. This is the second DreamWorks movie to have a post-credit scene. The first one was Shrek 2. Let's talk about some fun facts. The soundtrack for this film was released on May 16 of 2006. Some guy named Rupert Williams composed the original score. And the guy I talked about at the beginning, Ben Fold, what a guy. He contributed his original songs. He did a rewrite apparently for one of his songs. It was called Rockin' the Suburbs, which was that opening banger of a song. Shout out to that. In 2007, CEO Jeffrey Katzenberg of DreamWorks said that the film would not get a sequel due to the box office numbers. He said it was close. Almost, unquote. The DVD has 2 games on it. The first one being a backyard obstacle course, which is literally just a point and click to navigate through the lasers in the backyard for Hammy. The second one is an acorn toss. It's just skee ball. just skee ball. You throw the nuts in the hole. Finally, there's one called CD-ROM, which wants me to insert the DVD into the computer, and I just don't want to do that. So I will never know what this is. But you'll need at least Windows XP to view this bad boy, so upgrade your systems now. There was also this bag of chip on the menu that said in hibernation, and when I clicked on it, it prompted me to go to this website for more fun, and so I did. Well, I couldn't find the fun, but it's got a gallery list of all the characters. That's about it. I think I'm done here. But hey, join me next time where I cover the next DreamWorks movie, DVD, no VHS, or maybe VHS, maybe sequel, reviews, a B movie. I haven't said that phrase in a while. Stop!